box here, but it looks like there's some security issue. But what happens is I'll show you from the code itself directly. That is fine. So what will happen is generally it's suggested that once you are on the stages, so okay, let's say I mark my stage as negotiating, which is the S7 stage. And after this, you mark the stage as closed. So that will be a closed one. So if I click on closed, it will give an option to mark my stage as closed one. So it's suggested at this point you should create a workflow so that it will automate everything regarding your opportunity once it is closed. So you should always have a workflow if you want to create a contact on an order from your opportunity, which will help you to create that. So now in this case, I have already closed the opportunity. Let me go to my code, back to my code, and from here I will order it. Okay. So to order it, I just need to mark this as true and then I'll save it. Once this is done, if I go back to my opportunity now, in the related list, I can see there's a related list called as orders. In this, you can see now there is one order created. So if I go to this order, this will have everything that my quote has. So it will have the subscription term, it will have the total amount. For example, our MacBook was priced at 8,000 and Netflix was priced at 1,000. So the total amount is 9,000. We get that. Start date was today, so it also populated the start date as today. The status, as I said earlier, this will be draft, and if it is activated, then it will be in active state. Okay. And if I go back, one more thing, the shipping and as I said, the shipping and billing address will also be populated. This comes from code directly. This will also have my code lookup. This will help us identify from which code this order was created and also the opportunity from which opportunity this order is getting created. Again, if I go to the related, here I'll see the order products. Now these are nothing but the quote lines that we created on the quote. So if I open one, this will have all the details that were on the quote line as well. So it will have the product lookup, it will have the subscription term, it will have the start date, end date. Now, if you remember, when I created the quote, I didn't provide any end date. I just gave the subscription term as 12, and CPQ has already calculated the end date depending on the subscription term. It also has the quantity as one and the activation status, the price, and everything. So if this was not CPQ and a normal sales cloud, what would have happened is sales rep will manually need to come here. They would have need to create an order. They would have need to create an order product. So that could have been a very tedious task. And this is where CPQ has helped. You already saw that I just updated one checkbox and everything was done. Everything was copied from my code. Now this was how you create an order. But in real life scenarios, what happens is, suppose if you're buying MacBook and Netflix and you want that your MacBook should be delivered at another address, your Netflix should be delivered at another address. Okay. So it's a possibility that from a single code, you want to create two different orders. And CPQ provides provision to that as well. Not only apart from different addresses, but if you want that your hardware should be delivered at a different address, your software should be delivered at a different address, CPQ provides that provision as well. Okay. So I'll show you that as well. So that is called as multiple orders from creating from a single code. So to allow that, the first thing is we need to enable that setting from the package itself. So I'll show you again that as well. So if I go to my setup, in setup, I'll type install packages. Here you'll get the list of all the packages that you have in your org. Okay. In my case, since it's a scratch org and I recently installed CPQ, this only has CPQ. So we need to go to configure. Once I click here, this will give me all the options of configuration for the CPQ package. This will have the options for contracts. This will have the options for how your document should look, how your editor should look. For orders, there's a tab called as order. We need to come here. And there is this checkbox, allow multiple orders. We need to mark this as true. Unless and until this is marked as true, we cannot create any orders. On top of it, if you want to create any order without any opportunity, then you can check this. And what should be this default start date? If you want the code start date or today's start date, you can use this default start date. And as I said earlier, it is generally suggested that the code should be approved. So if you want to mandate that, in that case, then you can check this checkbox as well. So for now, since we are focusing on multiple orders, I'll be checking this and then I'll save it. Okay. So since it's already saved, I'll just click on cancel. Okay. So let me go back to any one of my opportunity there. And in this, what I will do is I'll create another quote. I think I already have it. This time, what I will do is I'll try to create multiple orders. Now there are multiple ways in which you can create multiple orders. One is based on group and another one is based on the family type or whatever you like. If you want to have a product type or any other field in which you want to bifurcate it, you can do that. In this case, let's say I create a group. In one group, I'll just add MacBook. Okay. Now you can see that when I added a group, you can see I have different options here. For this particular group, I can have the subscription term as different. I can have a different start date and end date as well. On top of it, if you want to expose any other field, then you can expose it here itself. I'll add any other group now. Let me make it group 2, and in this I'll add Netflix. Okay, so I have created two different groups. One group I have added a MacBook. And now let's say I want the start date to be from today itself. What I can do is I can order it today itself. Since this will be an asset, I hope everyone knows what is an asset and a subscription. So if not, let me just tell you, asset is something that is physical and you don't need a subscription, like buying a house or buying a laptop. Whereas subscription is something that you need to pay month on month or after a frequent time, like Netflix subscription or Amazon subscription. Similarly, let's say I want that my subscription to be started from next month. What I can do is I can choose the date here. Okay, and I can make it like I want my Netflix for only for 1 year. So this gives me a provision to have two different products in a single quote, and I have made the start dates different. So the delivery date will be same, but the services will start from different dates. So on that, what happens is I can give multiple orders here. So to do that, what we need to do is I will just save this code for now. In this code, again, if I scroll down, saw that there was an order checkbox which created an order. But there's another checkbox which says order by quote line group. If you check this and if you check the order checkbox, in this case, it will create two different orders, one for your MacBook, one for your Netflix. That was also based on different start dates. Now, let's say you did not want to create a different groups, rather you just wanted a single quote without any group. Okay. So I'll again do edit lines. Let me ungroup everything. Okay. Now in this case, there are no groups. There's just one start date, there's one subscription term, and everything is same. Okay. But still you want that this should be created into multiple orders. So what I can do is, now let me show you the products first. So if I go to the related and let me open my products, you can see my product. I have marked MacBook as hardware, and if I go to Netflix, I have marked it as service. So these are two different families, these are two different types of product, and I want that my order should be created depending on the different types of families. So in this case, what I can do is I will go to the detail page of the quote. Here, we have this field called as order by. In this order by, so this will be a pick list, and you need to add the field through which you want to create multiple orders. So SBQQ product family, this field was not added here. I added the value here myself. Okay. I can select this. I can save this now. Now, once this is saved, I will order it. Let's see what happens now. I'll go there. Well, let's do a quick save. Once I order it, I'll go back to my opportunity. In this case, if I scroll down, now you can see there are two different orders for one single opportunity. So let me just open them one by one. Okay, I'll open first order and then we open second order as well. In the first order, you can see the amount is 8,000 because if I go to related, I'll see just one product. Whereas if I go to the other order, it will show me the price as $1,000 because my product is again one. Okay, so that's how you created multiple orders from a single quote. Does anyone have any question here? All right, I'll take that as a no then. Cool. Moving on, after orders, we have contracts. So basically, contracts are nothing but generating a lasting records of products and services a customer has purchased or subscribed to. Once your order was delivered, you generally want a contract stating that this is the date my product service will start, this is the date my product service will end. And generally we do this once opportunity stage is defined. Like if it is closed one, in that case, again, we should always have a workflow which will help you create the contracts. So once your deal is closed one, we can use the contracted checkbox on opportunity, and then initiation can be done again from opportunity and orders as well. For orders, when we wanted to create an order, we had the provision to create it from opportunity or from the quote. For contract, we have the provision to create the contract from opportunity or from the order. Now it depends from business to business or customer to customer how they want to proceed it. Generally, Salesforce suggests that on your opportunity, always create an order once it's closed one. Once your order is finalized, once it's activated, from that order create a contract. So this is the flow I have added here. Once your deal is closed, your opportunity from your order, you mark it as contract and then it will be contracted. For this demo, again, I'll show you how to create a contract from your opportunity rather than from an order, or if time permits, let's go with both of them. Okay. Now, before creating a contract, there are a few prerequisites. One of them being that one of your product on your quote must be a subscription product. If you have all products, then in that case, no contract will be created. Your quote should be primary, and there's a field on account on the opportunities account called as renewal method that should always be contract based. If it is not contract based, then it will not create a contract. Okay. Now again, to create an contract, we just need to go to the opportunity or the order, and then we can contract it. Let's say I'm on my opportunity, but let's say I want to contract this. This is an order. Okay, let's try to contract directly from an order itself. But to contract it, we first need to activate this order. Okay, so I will activate it. Once my order is activated, now can I contract it? Okay. Now contracting is a asynchronous process. So once this is the checkbox that will help me identify if I can contract it or not. Okay. I'll make this as true and I'll save this. This is an asynchronous process, so it will take some time to contract it. If I go to the related, as of now, I don't see any contract, but if I take a refresh, you see there's one contract created. Now this contract will only hold the Netflix part. So if I go to the contract, this contract will also have each and everything that we had on our order. Okay, so this will have the start date, the same, the end date, the contract term, which was of 12 months. This will have the account. If I scroll down, this will let me know what was my opportunity, what was my quote, what was the order, everything. This has details of everything. So this is the provision of CPQ that it's provide. It keeps you automated in each and every way. You don't need to do anything manually. Now, as I said, your order products, this will be part of your subscription. So if I go to the related again, you see there's one subscription available here. If I open this, this will carry each and every data again. This will have the list price, the quantity, the start date, end date, everything. And this will also have your product as well. This will help you identify which product was bought for how many term, what was the price the customer has paid. If there is any credit check or debit check that we need to do, then this is where we find out. Now that was how you create a contract from your order, but let's try to create one opportunity as well. Okay. So let's start with creating an account directly. Okay. I'll create one new account. Let's name it as order contract 003. I'll give some rating here. Not required, not required. Let's make the billing state as LA again. I'll mark the uh, USA. I'll copy each and every address here directly. LA, and then I'll give the shipping country as USA. Okay, I'll save this. A new account is created. Let's create an opportunity as well for this account. So I'll go to the opportunities. Let's create a new opportunity. I'll give it name as order contract OPP003. Close date, let's give towards the month end. So that will help us identify when this opportunity was closed. Okay. Stage, let's keep it prospecting. And then I can directly save it. So once my opportunity is created, now I need to create a quote as well. So let's create one quote on this opportunity. Since I'll be using only one quote, I'll mark this as primary. Opportunity selected, account, let's select that as well. So in this case, I'll just give start date as today and then subscription term as 12 again. So end date will be automatically calculated. Okay. On top of it, I'll not be giving any address here this time. I'll just save it. And now let's see what happens on the quote. So if I scroll down, you can see the order is already populated. This comes from the opportunity directly. So again, I'll add edit lines. Let's add two products. Let me just add Netflix and MacBook again. Do again add product. Let's add MacBook and save it. So as I said earlier, to create a contract, there are three things that are mandatory. First thing is your code should always have a subscription product. In this case, Netflix was my subscription product, so I added it. Second thing is your code should be primary. In this case, you can say it's primary. And the third thing is on the account, the renewal method should be contract based. So if you come in my account, there is a field called as renewal method, this, and this should be based as contract based. If this is not done, then in that case, it will not create a contract. Okay. Now let's go back to the opportunity. We already saw how we created a contract from order, but this time let's create it from opportunity. Here as well, it's suggested that have the automations. So in this case, I'll just directly use the contract checkbox and I'll save it. Again, since this is a asynchronous process, so it will take some time to create a contract, but let's take a refresh. So if I come to my related, you can see there's one contract here, and that's how you create a contract using order as well as using opportunity. This will again have the same details. This will have the start date, the end date, the term, the quote. Since this was not created from an order, this will not have any order, but other details will be same. Okay, so we saw that how we created contract from order and opportunity, but there are a few things that we need to take care of. First thing is that these records contain the pricing and date values of the subscription that we quoted, right? So you saw that the dates and the pricing, everything was same that was on the order as well as on the quote lines. Now there are three different ways where you can give a subscription term. One is on the quote directly, other one is on your quote line, and the other one is on your quote group. In case, first thing is that if you provided a subscription term on your code group, then while creating contract, it will always give priority to that subscription term on your code group. If not, it will check if there's a subscription term on your quote line. If it is there, then it will give priority to that. And if not, then it will check on the quote level. So the hierarchy is like it will check on the quote group, then on the quote line, and then on the quote. And based on this subscription term only, it will calculate the effective start date and end date based on which your pricing will be calculated. Now we saw that out of the box there were few fields like list price, quantity, the dates, everything. These came from your quote line to orders to contacts. But apart from these fields, if you want any other custom field that you created, and if you want that this field should flow to your order products or to your subscription, in that case, we have a concept of twin fields in Salesforce CPQ. In that, what we do is we need to make sure the API name and the field type is same on all the objects. For example, let's say if I create a field as product type on my quote line and I give value as software, and I want that this value should be automatically populated on my subscription as well as on my order product. In this case, what I will do is I will create the same field with the same type and with the same API name on my order product as well as on my subscription. What will happen is on creation of your orders and your subscription, that value, what we select on the quote line, the value if we select as software, it will be automatically populated on the order product as well as your subscription. You do not need to write any kind of workflow or any kind of automation to update it. That's something that CPQ has provided it, and it will be automatically updated. Now let's say we ordered it. I ordered Netflix for 12 months. I really liked it, and I decided that my brother should also get one because I really liked it. So, making any change in an existing contracts, this is what called as amendments. So, next topic for today is after contract comes amendment. Okay, again it starts from the contract. You can amend any contract, as I said, like you have an existing quote, you have an existing contract, you want to change something in that. If you want to change the dates, if or let's say if you buy Netflix for 1 year and you did not like it, and you want that now I want it only for 6 months, or you liked it and you decide to get it for your brother as well and you want to update the quantity, that is where amendment comes in. So you go on your opportunity or contract, then in there from the contract you need to amend it. Once you amend it, amendment opportunity and amendment code will be created. Okay, let me show you that first. So this is my contract that we just recently created. Okay, this has two subscriptions, I guess. Okay, only one because Netflix was the only subscription and MacBook was the asset. In this case, what I can do is first thing I'll activate this contract. Okay, now once this is activated, I get a provision to amend it. If I want to change anything on this contract, I get that provision, and to do that what I need to do is I'll just click on amend. So while clicking amend, it will show me this was my subscription, this is the product, and this is the quantity, and I'll again click on amend. Let's see what happens now. So I directly landed on one quote. Okay, but let me just save this for now. I'll come to this later, but let's see what happens. You will see that for this code, the opportunity is something different. This is not the opportunity that we initially had. The name is amendment for contract. What happens is whenever you amend a contract, it will create a new opportunity and a new code as well. So if I go to this opportunity, this is a new opportunity. Now you can have a flow or something to change the opportunity names. Generally, businesses suggest that the opportunity name should be similar to what they had for their original opportunity, or the opportunity name plus the date this contract was amended. Now on this opportunity as well, if you want to find out that if this is an amended opportunity or not from a different contract, then in that case, if I scroll down, there is this field called as amended contract. This field will help me identify first thing if this opportunity is amended or not. If it is amended, then from which contract. So this is a lookup field to the existing contract that we have. So if I open this, this will have the same contract. See, it has the same contracts. So if I check my subscriptions, it will have Netflix only. Now, since an opportunity was created, it will also automatically create a quote as well. And you can see in the related, there's already one quote present. So let me just go back to the quote. And in this quote, there's also one quote line. This quote line is of Netflix that we just bought, that was on our contract. So if I now go edit lines, here you will notice that my quote total is zero. There's nothing that I could pay off. Reason being, when I bought Netflix and I contacted it, I already paid for it when I ordered it. Okay. and that's the reason now it will show 0. But if I make the quantity as 2, and let's see if I calculate it, you see now the price will become $1,000 because I only need to pay for the price that I'm getting additionally. I don't need to pay for the existing thing. On top of it, let's say if you want to cancel the subscription, okay, you don't see any delete sign here. That's because CPQ doesn't allow you to delete any amended subscriptions. In case if you want to delete it, what you need to do is you need to make the quantity as 0 and then save it. In that case, if I calculate it, it will also show me the price as minus 1000 now. And this will be taken care by sales rep later on if they want to refund the money or if they want to have a credit check. That depends totally on it. So now let me just make the quantity as 2. Apart from this, assume you like the Netflix very much and you want to buy any other product. In this case, you can have that provision that I can go to add products again, and let's see if I want to buy Amazon Prime, I can buy it. This will give me the provision here. And since Amazon Prime is not an existing product, I have this option to delete it. So if I want to delete it, I can delete it directly here. This is one of the things we need to take care while having amendments. Okay. Now I'll save this. So as part of amendment, we did one change. That was we increased the quantity because we really like the product. Now let's again go back to the opportunity and we'll contract this. Okay. Remember we had an existing contract. I'll just open it here in the different window. Make a note that this has only one subscription wherein I have Netflix, quantity 1, start date, ended, and my price. Okay. I'll go to my opportunity. What I will do is now I will contract this as well. And I'll mark this as contracted. Okay, let's take a refresh. So if we come down on the same amended opportunity, you will see that there will be no new contract created. Reason being, our contract was already valid. It was already in progress. We went ahead and we decided to amend it. We decided to change it. So what will happen is the change that we made, it will be on the existing contract only. So if I go to my contract and I'll take a refresher, make note that the subscription here is only one. And now you can see there's two of them. Reason being, the second one that we added here, it came as a second subscription. Similarly, if we had to make the quantity as 0, then in that case, it will have added a new subscription with the quantity as -1, which would have nullified everything. So that's how amendment works. So as I said earlier, in the last part, you can see that same contract will be updated and it will not be co-terminated. Now there are a few amended consideration as well. The supported scenarios are, as I showed you, you can change the quantity. Apart from that, you can change the start date. Now along with start date, you can also change the end date as well, but it's not suggested because that leads to proration. Apart from that, you can update the pricing or the discount for newly added products only. You cannot do any change to the existing products that we bought, and the proration is done automatically. And there are few consideration others as well, like you cannot delete it. So if you want to delete it, you need to make the quantity as 0. And if you want to change the pricing or if you want to give discount to your existing products, in that case again you need to cancel your existing product by making the quantity 0, and then you need to re-add it. Then only you can do that. So that's how amendment is done. Does anyone have any question here? Okay, I'll take that as a no. After amendments, we come to a last topic, which is of renewals. Okay. So renewal is something, let's say that you bought Netflix for 1 month, 1 year. You started it on 27th of April. After 1 year, on 27th of Jan 2025, it will expire. And you might have noticed that in real life scenarios as well, whenever there is something that you have bought and it comes to an expiry date, the sales rep will start calling you. They will notify you that, sir, your subscription is coming to an end, like insurance. They will call you, they will ask you to renew it. And that's how in CPQ as well renewal works. So it's like on the contracted opportunity, we have few things that will help us identify that this contract is coming to an expiration date, and then it will give us provision to create a new opportunity, to create a new contract, and then add a new subscription as well. Now this renewal process is of two types. Okay, so let's go back to the one order that we created initially. Okay, I'll show you one order that I created initially. In this order, there were two products. One was Netflix and one was MacBook. When we ordered this, it has two related products. And once we contract it, you will generally see that the contract will only have the subscription product. It will never have the asset. That's because if I go to my account, on the account there is a related list called as assets. And in there we will see this was the asset that was bought for this account. So generally in related list, there will be a field called as asset. And here in assets, you will see that that was the particular product you bought. Now coming to renewals, it has two types. One is contract based and one is asset based. So for today, we'll be going through contract based. Okay. So what happens is on your contract, once you try to do the renewal, Salesforce will kind of create a renewal opportunity, and then it will create a ghost code that will not be a real code, but it will be a buffer kind of thing where it will have all your subscription. And once you do a renewal quotation, in that case, it will create a new code which will allow us to create further the contracts. So let me just go back to the contract. Okay, one of the contracts. I'll use the same contract that we amended just now. Okay. Unlike amendment, where we had the button to create an amendment, in case of contracts, we have two different fields to do the renewals. One is renewal forecasted, another one is renewal quoted. Now, why two different fields? Renewal forecasted, if we make this as true, this will create a renewal opportunity. So if I make this as true and save it, if I go to related, here we have a related list called as renewal opportunity. And now you can see there is this renewal opportunity available. You can notice that there is no code created, but there's only one product available. Okay. Now, why Salesforce provided us this provision to do renewal first, create a contract, and then first create an opportunity and then a code? That is because sales reps will generally try to call you first. They will notify you that your contract is about to expire and would you like to renew us. Now they cannot directly connect you because being a process, they have to also make sure that everything is documented and everything is reported. So first, Salesforce will help you create an opportunity. Once your opportunity is created, you can have a timeline that within 3 months we'll try to contract it or we'll try to quote it and we'll help the customer to buy new products. So once that is done, then the sales rep decided, okay, my customer is ready to buy new products. Then he will create a renewal code. Now, once I create a renewal code, what I need to do is again, I'll just make this renewal coded as true and then I'll save it. Okay, since it is saved, I'll go to my opportunity. Now you can notice that there's no code, but if I take a refresh, there's one code present. You can also notice that it has already some amount available here. And if we do to the edit lines, it will already have few products as well. See, it will have the product Netflix that we bought for quantity 2. When doing amendment, we did 1 plus 1. Now while doing renewals, it has already combined everything. So CPQ will help you understand that these were the products you bought and these are the products that you can renew it. But while doing renewal, you decided that no, I don't want Netflix this time. I want Amazon Prime. It gives you provision to delete it here, whereas an amendment it doesn't provide it. Okay. And on top of it, if you want to add any new product, let's say I want to add Prime this time. and I'll save it. So this gave me provision to add everything as well. And since your existing contract is about to expire, that means this, when we order this, this will be a new process, a new contract will be created because your existing contract is already about to expire. Okay, so in my quote lines now, if I go to my renewal opportunity again, you can see I added two products. This time I'll directly contact it from here. Also, you can see this is a renewal because it shows the renewal checkbox as true. And similar to amendment, if you want to find out that if this was a renewal and from which contract it was renewed, here we get a lookup to that as well. So we get that provision. Now this is done for reporting purpose and also to backtrack your sales to identify with a particular customer for how long you have been doing in business, how long they have been creating contracts with you, what is the business you generated. So this will help you in that case. So let me just contact it again. This time what will happen is a new contract will be created, but let me take a refresh. See, a new contract is created this time. This is not like an existing contract was created. On top of it, let's notice one thing: the start date and end date. You see, I never changed the start date and end date, but since this was a renewal and my existing code, the first code that I created, that was from 27th of Jan 25 till 26th of Jan 24 till 26th of Jan 25. This time when I created a contract and it was a renewal, it automatically identified that okay, this is a renewal. That means 1 year has already passed. My quote has expired. So therefore, CPQ has already adjusted your dates. It will already adjust your dates. If you want to increase the prices, it gives you that provision as well. But I'll not go there right now because that's kind of an advanced topic and could be delayed. Cool. Apart from this, there are few things on the contract as well that helps you. For example, we have these different stages. For example, when you created an amendment and you wanted that, well, during creating amendment, you wanted the stage to be populated as S7 directly. In that case, you can do here. If you want to change the billing address, in that case, you can update it here. Similar is for renewal as well. If you want to change the renewal stage or the renewal price book ID, everything is there. Along with that, we have this preserve bundle structure here. So what preserve bundle structure means, it, let's say if you have a bundle product, okay, in bundle, let's say you're buying a mobile phone. So your bundle product will have a mobile box. Inside your mobile box, you will have a mobile, you will have a charger, and you will have a charging cable. What this preserve bundle structure will do is, if you amend or renew this contract, it will make sure that mobile has all these components. It will have the mobile, the charger, the charging cable. Whereas if this is marked as true, it is possible that bundle structure will not be preserved and you might need to buy it as standalone. So that is one difference. Okay, so that was how you create a renewal based on contract base. Apart from this, we have a asset based as well, but asset base is pretty simple. It's just that on the account level, you need to go there. You will see all your assets. I'll not give a demo for this because it's pretty easy. So what will happen is, let me go to my account. Here you can see there's a button called as renew assets and amend asset. If you do this, for example, in this account, I have one asset. It could be of MacBook because we bought it. Okay. If I do renew asset, it will give me provision to renew that as well. Okay. So I can do this and directly save it and I can renew it. So that's what asset based means. And that's it, guys. So this was all for today's session. I hope everyone has a basic knowledge of what is orders, how to create them, what is contracts, how to create them, and what is major difference between amendments and renewals. So
Yeah.
does anyone have any question?
Yeah, thanks so much. Then so we have couple of question by Manoj Kumar. He's asking in renewal terms. Sometime product are transferred from current to renewal, but sometime fails even product subscription type is renewal. So what could be the reason?
Okay, so in renewal terms, sometimes products are transferred from current to renewal, but
And sometimes
sometimes
fail, yeah.
okay. So first thing is that you need to make sure that product is of renewal type. So I would suggest you to check not only the product type, but also check if you are given the subscription term, if you are given the subscription pricing and all, because that could be the only reason. The only reason that a subscription is not created is because On your account, you do not have the renewal model as contract based, and you do not have the product as subscription. That could be the only reason. Also, I see another question. Contract creation fails, but in log we get package classes execution. How to fix such type of issues? Okay, contract creation sometimes fails if your org is not optimized. And the reason is you will see that in your package classes is one thing is that your package classes, the limits of your any, not only CPQ package, but any package that you have, the limits will be different from what you have in your general transaction. Okay. So the transaction will go in a separate different places. But if your org is not optimized, generally it's not suggested that you should have a trigger or something on your code lines, because that is something where CPQ comes triggers in. If even if you change a single field on your code line, CPQ calculation will trigger. So what I would suggest is the only reason could be your org is not optimized. You need to make sure that your time limit execution is very less and each and everything is optimized, and then only your contract will be created. And it's very, actually it is very difficult to identify at what point it failed, because that's an asynchronous process and you need to actually have an automation to save all the logs in a different object. That's what generally we do in real life projects as well. Any other questions?
Yeah, I think we are good. So guys, you can subscribe this Salesforce Admin Noida group. That is the YouTube channel, and probably we are planning to have one in-person event in next month. Still, the date has to be finalized, but probably it will be 24th. And if you guys will be having maybe wanted to listen any other new topic apart from the CPQ series, please let us know so that we can plan accordingly. So Nan, thank you so much for providing me the insight of the how the renewal amendment and the contract will work in the CPQ. So next session, guys, in the series would be Nan will be presenting, and we will be talking about more on the proration, more on the contract pricing, and the MDQ. And also very untouchable point is evergreen product, how the beneficial it might be in the any of the business line, and how we can leverage that feature as well. So
Thank you so
thank you
much,
so
Arun.
much, Dan, for your wonderful session and the time. And thank you all for all the attendees for the time in getting on the Saturdays. So we'll try to get up with the more insight, with more new features on the CPQ in upcoming sessions.
Thank you so much, Arun. Thank you so much for
Thank
having
you
me.
so much,
It
all.
was a pleasure.
Yep.